What's up, guys? Welcome back to the BJack 70 show. I'm your host, Brandon Jackson, and you already know what it is. You saw the title, you saw the thumbnail. Let's get right into it. Let's jump right back into it. The definitive quarterback rankings. Today we're doing 15 through 8. And yeah, I'm not going to waste any time talking about it. Y'all know what we're doing, y'all know what y'all want to hear, and let's start off with number 15. Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. Um, first of all, Jared Goff has been through a whole a whole career of, I don't want to say he's outperformed his expectations. Ever since he got drafted when he was in LA, now with Detroit. Um, and that's admirable. He was the first number one overall pick in his draft. Went to the Rams, was with had Jeff Fisher as his head coach, was ass, but he was a rookie quarterback. Like that's perfectly fine. Sean McVay shows up, the boy genius, the boy wonder, and Jared Goff takes off, goes to a Super Bowl, plays in one of the most entertaining and high scoring games ever to be seen in the NFL against the Chiefs on that one Monday night football game. And it's not enough. They go to a Super Bowl, but it's just not enough. Sean McVay can sense if they want to win one, they just need a little bit more from that quarterback spot. So they swap him out for Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford gets him a Super Bowl ring. But Jared Goff in Detroit, they love him, they want him, they've embraced him, which has been very cool to watch from afar. Um, but he's done way more than anybody would have expected in Detroit. Um, Me personally being from Cleveland, I know what it feels like when you think other teams send their players to your team to die, essentially, to waste away, um, to waste away the rest of their careers in your city. And it felt like that's what Sean McVay and the Rams were doing to Jared Goff. They thought he would go to Detroit and waste away. And that's been the opposite of the case for Jared Goff. So I can appreciate that about him. Um, the thing is, though, he's number 15 on this list. So that would make him slightly above average, but he's within a pocket of a bunch of quarterbacks, like a bunch of guys that could could be better. Um, like we may think a little bit higher of, but like their talent level isn't super duper high. Like Jared Goff is a very serviceable starting quarterback. Even last year, he had almost like he was an MVP candidate for sure, and that was deserved. Um, but I don't really think that's who he is. He's a good quarterback. I would absolutely take him as a starter. He's a solid starter, but if I need a difference maker, I'm not taking Jared Goff, especially when we know he if you get pressure, if you get pressure up the middle, he's not a guy that's going to be dynamic enough to make something happen. If everything if everything works right, he he's your guy. If you know you've got the running game, you got the offensive line, you got the receivers, he is your guy. He can literally take you to a Super Bowl. Um so he's basically like the next evolution Pokemon of Brock Purdy. Like he's just that step up from Brock Purdy of a guy that if everything else is perfect, he will take you to a Super Bowl. Um, so yeah, shout out to Jared Goff. And the next person on this list might confuse, or I wouldn't say confuse, but you'll see. We'll get to it. And let's release it right now. Number 14, Dak Prescott. So Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. What is he? Who is he? Like, is Dak good? Is Dak great? Is Dak average? Is he elite? What is Dak Prescott? And it's really hard to tell because he's a guy that has put up enormous numbers in various regular seasons. Um, the year the year that he dislocated his ankle, broke his foot, or whatever happened to him, whatever that gruesome leg injury was, the year that happened. And I don't have the stats in front of me. I should have probably looked it up, but he was averaging almost, if not 400 yards passing a game for those first 4 games of that season. He was going crazy. Um, and there's a lot to be said of the Dallas Cowboys like being down in the game, Dak throwing a lot, padding his stats, garbage time stats. Um, but I don't think he's that. I think he is a guy who can produce big numbers at the quarterback position. Um, but he's not somebody that I look at and I say, "Oh, he does this the best. Like he's the best at this in the league, or he's the best at that in the league." He's just a good. He's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Um, definitely full like a real starting quarterback in this league, but he's I have him ranked above guys like Jared Goff, guys like Brock Purdy, um, because he's produced more. I think he's produced more at not wins wise, but stats wise, and I like him a little bit better as a quarterback, but not much. So that's why I have him at 14, just ahead of Jared Goff at 15. Um, yeah, again, like the theme is with Dak, like just not a difference maker. He's a guy when it gets to be the playoff time. When it is playoff time, when it's crunch time, you've seen him in the playoffs. You've seen him with that 1,000 yard stare. We saw him visibly be nervous in the moment against the Packers. Was that a couple years ago? We watched him shaking in his boots while the Dallas Cowboys season was imploding. Yeah, it was a couple years ago because he was hurt to finish this year. But Dak is again solid starting quarterback, and really I think that's it. So moving on to a guy that I have. If you know me in person, you know me in real life, or you see me on Twitter. This is a guy I'm sure a lot of people were waiting for me to rank, and I this is me at my most objective. Number 13, Baker Mayfield. Baker, let me get the good. Let me get the good out of the way. Baker has done an excellent job of maturing, going down to Tampa Bay, and being a very, very, very good quarterback for them. He has been he's been a net positive for their organization. He contributes to winning in a real way. We can see that on film. Um, he's been a great teammate in Tampa. The guys love him. They love to be around him. The coaches love to coach him. He has, by all rights, been a model citizen, been an exemplary teammate, been really exactly the prototype of what you want your quarterback to be. in the NFL. And that's truly like being the most real I can be. I'm impressed by that, and I'm happy that he was able to do that in Tampa and really find a home. They love him, he loves them. It's really been a good marriage down there for him. He's getting to throw to Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I imagine that's super duper fun. Going to be able to throw to Emeka Ibuka, Jalen McMillan, like Cade Otton, Bucky Irving in the backfield, good offensive line. Like he has it great. And I'm not saying that just to like to be negative about him. Like I'm really actually happy for him that he's found a place and that he's seemed to have turned his career around in Tampa. And another positive, he's the accuracy that we thought that he was coming out of college with, throwing the football, he found it in Tampa Bay. What gets me is the fact that it was almost nowhere to be seen in Cleveland, and it's really it's really tough to watch him be to it's really tough to watch him be such a good quarterback in Tampa when really like it didn't have to be this way. He didn't have to get sent out of Cleveland. It didn't have to be this way. But decisions were made by him, so decisions were made by the front office, and I stand by that decision that they made. I wish him good luck. I don't want to say the best of luck. I wish him good luck. Glad he's been doing well. And that's the best I can say about him. That's the best I can say about him. And I'm still going to root against him, but he's been doing well. 13, 13 is as high as I could go. 13 is as high as I could go, and I really think that's a good spot for him because I truly like this is my list and I truly like all the guys that are ahead of him on this list. I like them more than I like Baker's talent, what he's shown in Tampa. So yeah, that's me being honest and shout out to him for turning it around. So that's it. That's me and Baker Mayfield right there. So um let's move on to number 12. Somebody that I have that I have championed on the internet for a long time. Geno Smith, now a Las Vegas Raider, playing for Pete Carroll again. I'm so happy. Extremely happy that I get to talk about Geno as a quarterback in the top half of all the quarterbacks in the league. He's been he's been a good quarterback this whole time. I promise he's been a good quarterback this whole time. Even when he was a Jet, when he was a Giant, when he was a Seahawk backing up Russell Wilson. He's been a good quarterback. I promise because I've seen it because I was there. I was literally there while he was in college. Gino has been the real deal this whole time. Now, when he was with the Jets, of course, he was he was a young player, no experience in the NFL, had some growing pains, and when he finally was on the right path, on the right track, was going to be the day one starter in New York. Um, wasn't going to be looking over his shoulder. Was ready to truly come into his own. One of his teammates fucking punched him, broke his jaw, and that was that on that year. And that was basically a wrap on his New York Jets career. And because of that, because he didn't get that opportunity in that year, people just took what he put on film as that's what he was, won't get any better, and that's just what it is. And that was wrong. And that was wrong. And with the benefit of hindsight now, if we look back 10 years since Gino left the New York Jets, who's been a good quarterback for that organization? Please name me one. Has anybody been a franchise quarterback for that organization? If you know, let me know because I either forgot or I missed it or I don't know. But if you can give me a name that's been a real franchise quarterback that has brought success to the New York Jets, please let me know. And please let Jet fans know because I'm sure they want to know as well. But he's been good, man. And if you watch the film of Gino as a Seahawk these past few years, you'll see throws on film that he completes some passes other guys would not even think about attempting. Um, it's because he sees the field so well. He trusts his arm, he trusts his accuracy, and he really just knows what he's doing. I have him at number 12 here. He's not the best quarterback in the league. Um, like he's 12. He's a really good starting quarterback. And it's a shame that he spent so much of his time in the NFL as a backup not even being able to get a chance to start. Um because he ended up behind Eli Manning and Russell Wilson, and those guys are as entrenched or were guys that were entrenched as much as you could possibly be as a starting quarterback in the NFL. So it's unfortunate it took him as long as it did to get a chance because Russell did get hurt, and you saw the dividends pay off immediately in the game that Russell Wilson got hurt that Gino got into. Um, it was immediate success. At least producing numbers, moving the offense. They didn't get the win that day, but as we see now, as we know now, he was a good quarterback. Um, that's really that's really all I got to say, man. I'm very proud of him as somebody that went to school and played with him. It's been great to see, and it was something I was talking about and screaming about on the internet for as long as he's been in the NFL. I knew he was good, and I'm glad that everybody else can see it now. So moving on to number 11, Jordan Love. Um, Jordan Love is a super duper duper talented guy, super talented guy, and all what I need him to do is to put a full season of greatness together because he's right on the cusp of the top 10. And I think he's a guy that's talented enough to be entrenched as a top 10 guy in this league. He's really, he's, he has a strong arm. He has a willingness to throw passes that other people wouldn't throw. Um, he's a guy that's athletic. He's a guy that can throw off platform. He's a guy that supremely believes in himself and his ability, which can sometimes lead him to making bad decisions and bad passes. Um, but that's part of, like, sometimes if you got a quarterback like that, that's just part of the game. That's just something you got to deal with because the highs are high. Um, and even if the lows are low, you got to take the good with the bad. And Jordan is one of those guys. Um, but yeah, like I said, he's a guy I just want him to see I just want to see him put a full year together. Cuz every year we see him either start off slow and pick it up late or go off early, start off hot and fall off late. If we can get a consistent Jordan Love, when I do this again in 2026, he'll be a top 10 guy. Especially um, especially if he's able to lead this Green Bay Packers team to anything significant because they're a good team. They're not a great team. They're a team with a bunch of good dudes at wide receiver, a bunch of dudes pretty much everywhere on this team. Like no elite guys, um, no spectacular guys, but just a bunch of solid dudes everywhere, everywhere on this Packers football team. So if he does anything of note with these guys, I'll be really impressed, and that will move him up this list. So now let's move to the top 10. Now we move to the top 10, and I know there's probably there's probably a couple guys that I have top 10, and you're gonna be like, why would you have these guys top 10? And let's start with one of them now, and it's Justin Herbert. I know what everybody says. I know what the talking points are. Justin Herbert, if he had this, if he had a better head coach, if he had better wide receivers, if he had better defensive, better defense, like, I know all the things about Justin Herbert. If he would have played better in the playoff game, or I don't really, I don't really care about all the talking points with Justin Herbert. It You just have to turn the film on and watch him play. He's a freak. He's huge. He has a huge arm. He can run fast, and he's a really good quarterback. But it's hard to say that out loud because sometimes he just makes some dumbass plays, and he doesn't really have any kind of real postseason success. And now that we're in the top 10, if you want to be called a top 10 guy, you either have to be like a freak of nature, or we have to believe that you're a guy that can get it done in the playoffs, or if you're like a top 5, top 3 guy, we need both. So here at 10, Justin Herbert is like a freak of nature kind of quarterback. All the tools that you think a quarterback needs, he has. We just need to see him prove it, basically. And the fact that he can be on a list at number 10 and we still need to see him prove it goes to show you how good of a talent he is. He makes insane throws. Just like go to YouTube, pull up a clip of Justin Herbert crazy throws, and I bet it's 30 minutes long. He's an insane thrower of the football. I like I really cannot understate how talented he is. And if you're somebody that's watching this, you already know that. You know Justin Herbert is super talented. I know you're screaming at the TV, you're screaming at your phone, screaming at me saying, well, he hasn't done shit in the playoffs. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But for the purposes of this exercise, of this list, I'm picking quarterbacks based on how good I think they are, not the success of their teams. Which we will definitely get into with the next guy also. But Justin is that guy. Justin really is a supreme talent, and I wish that he would go ahead and just prove it so we can be justified in how we talk about him. Okay, so number nine, we're going to get into one of my favorite players in the league. I might be, you know what, I'm not going to say might be, I am biased about this player. Um, People are going to call me crazy. They're going to call me crazy. They're going to call me names. They're going to say I don't know ball. It's okay. I will die on this hill. Number nine, Kyler Murray. I don't care what you say, what stats you bring up. Talk to me about how he got demolished in the playoff by the Los Angeles Rams. I don't care. Kyler is a top 10 quarterback in this National Football League. He just is. He just is. He's one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL. If it if we weren't in the greatest era of running quarterbacks of all time, with guys like Lamar and Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen, we would be looking at Kyler Murray like he was a damn witch with the things that he can pull off with his speed out of the backfield. He's an incredible athlete. He has an incredible arm. Um, I know he's short, but him being short doesn't stop him from producing producing with the best of them. And again, I'm a guy who looks at the traits. I look at the traits. I'm not looking at the results. I'm looking at the process. I'm looking at what can this guy do for me if he's my quarterback and I need somebody to elevate a bunch of average guys. I want the guy with the skill set that I can call a quarterback run for him. I can call the read option. I can call a deep shot. I can call it all with Kyler Murray, and I don't have to worry about it because I know he's able to get it done however I ask him to. Now, yes, we can talk about the lack of playoff success that he's had. It's okay. Like it is what it is. I understand that is an important part of it. And like I said with Justin Herbert, when you get into the top 10, you want a guy who either has had playoff success or you want an athletic marvel. Tyler is that athletic marvel. And again, I know I'm biased, but he's one of my favorite quarterbacks. And I got him in the top 10. I got him in number nine. You don't have to agree. You can be mad, make your own list, make your own YouTube video, write your own article, create your own website to post it on. And it is what it is. You don't have to like it, but it's my opinion. It's my ranking. Do your own ranking and rank them where you feel necessary. That's all I gotta say about that one. And last but not least for this video, we got number eight, CJ Stroud. CJ CJ is one of those guys that we've seen produce in the playoffs, and he put up one of the best rookie seasons of all time. Um, Really, I don't want to say it came out of nowhere, but we definitely weren't expecting it with the Houston Texans organization that doesn't have a great history. Um, with a rookie quarterback, a rookie head coach, doing what they did, coming out, winning a playoff game, and then the next year, maybe struggling a little bit in the regular season, but still coming out, winning a playoff game, next playoff game, giving giving one of the best teams in the conference, one of the best teams in the league, everything they can handle. Um, as a super young player, CJ Stroud is excellent. And he's 8 on this list right now, but he's a guy that really can push for higher. Um, I have high hopes for CJ Stroud. Just watching basically all of his games at Ohio State, um, what he can do placing the football exactly where he wants it to go is one of the most impressive traits of any quarterback on this list. He just to say he is an accurate quarterback doesn't do him justice. I think he's a guy that puts it exactly where he wants it to go, exactly how he wants his receivers to catch it. Um, and that's so valuable in the NFL. Always has been, always will be. He's a cerebral guy, super smart guy, super humble guy. Teammates love him. Um, I can't say anything but good things about CJ Stroud. And yeah, like the way how I talk about him feels like I should have him higher than 8, but there's a lot of good quarterbacks in this league, and CJ is really just on the cusp of superstardom. So yeah, again, he's one of these guys. When I do this list next year, um, there's not much higher for him to go, but I feel like if he does what I think he's capable of doing, that he will be higher on this list. So that was the third episode of the definitive quarterback ranking. I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate you sticking with the content. I appreciate you hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, and let me know. Let me go what you guys are thinking. Um, Let me know if the rankings are controversial, if I'm giving out hot takes, if I'm wrong, if I know ball. Let me know how it's going. But we got one more of these, and I think the last one, I think that the rankings from 7 to 1, I think that'll cause some discourse. So that'll be coming tomorrow morning, and yeah, that's really all I gotta say. But appreciate you watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and until the next one, we'll see you.